Hey guys, and welcome back to our iRacing Formula V series. We are here in week 12 of 12, so this is the closeout of the very first season of the Formula V on iRacing, and we are at the Oran Park circuit in Australia. I have to say, it feels like I am in the land down under because we're going around the lap backwards, or at least what feels backwards, because the first turn is a left turn. And I'm trying to think back at all the races that we've run this season, and I think pretty much all the tracks have had a right turn as the first turn, so it kind of feels like we're going the wrong way. Now, we are in the top split once again, and we've got some really good racing this particular split. So we're in the top split. This was the last race I ran. We are starting 12th. That is kind of my motive with respect to getting these things started. So we're ready for the red lights, and we are off. So when I loaded up this race, we were car number 12. So really we had absolutely nothing to lose. I had no problem starting from the back. And, well, we're going to make our way through the pack really quick. Already we've up one position through the first turn. Now, this car is pretty hard to handle on cold tires. So that is pretty much my main goal here, is to not spin out on the first few laps. Picked up another lap, another spot right there. Now there are a few key areas on this track that really are prone to spinning. This being one of them, this interesting left-hander uphill coming onto the front stretch. Of course, the first turn is another prime spin zone because we are hard on the braking going into a corner and downshifting. Those are kind of three things that can cause this thing to spin pretty easy. And then another interesting area of spin is coming up. It's up here at the top of the hill. Right up here. So we have to lift off, get the car to turn in, give it some gas, and when someone spun off there. So we are up 3 positions halfway through the second lap. Now, you saw the guy there on the left kind of get a little squirrely. Just kind of judge as to where he might be going. And he's going to come back and give us a little bit of a scare here in a few moments. And there he goes around. So like I said, he's going to give us a scare in a few moments. Let's see that. So he comes in, he basically tries to dive bomb the corner and takes a little bit too hot and basically spins out. Thankfully, we were all able to take him on the inside, and he did wait for us all to get through before moving on. That is one prime spinning area I like to talk. This guy gets up into the wall, and I think he goes and dives into the pits. If you take a look at the bottom right there, you'll see he dives into the pits. His car repaired. So lap 3, we are 7th place. We're doing pretty darn good. We made our way up. Gained a few spots as a result of some spins. A few spots we have gained basically by earning them. Gained ourselves another spot right here. So he went into that first corner also a little bit too hot. The guy that spun going into turn 1, so we gave a spot back because ultimately is quicker than us. Definitely is not a place where we want to be blocking or trying to keep a position that really honestly we didn't earn. So I went ahead and just let him on by. We're going to be a little cautious going into this first corner, just to make sure that we don't get up into his gearbox because we really don't know where his braking point is. We're going to be a little cautious there. Now this track lets you cut the curves quite a bit. Go right up to the edge and not getting off track. So that was really nice because there's a sand trap on the other side of that curving coming up over that hill. Definitely don't want to get spins out. Thankfully, we're going to load up, cut to the inside, but we do lose some momentum, so we do end up losing a position here. Let's go ahead and see that in replay. He gets a little bit of the front dirt there, gets his tires over-rotated, and he goes around. As far as lap times go, we're lapping this course in about 48 seconds. 48.5 is probably my average lap speed around this lap, or around this course. Some of the leaders are lapping in the upper 47s. About the best I was able to do was a 48.2. And in fact, my best lap of the week was during this exact race. A few laps from now, in fact. But the one thing that I really enjoyed about this particular race was that we did have some pretty good, close, and clean racing. Some of the other races I had this week were not anywhere as close to close and clean racing. We had close racing. They were not clean by any stretch of the imagination. I'm going to try to cut on the inside of this guy, but no, he cuts me off. Set him up maybe for a pass into turn 1. That's kind of my goal at this point. Lap 7, we're about halfway through the race at this point. Really good run coming up over the hill, going through that turn. Thankfully, he realizes that he just lets us through. In fact, you can see in the lower right, we've really backed off there a little bit. We've lost a lot of ground to him, or he's lost a lot of ground to us, I should say. So we made our way halfway up to the pack. We are in 6th place once again. It's interesting, the first 3 are in a pack by themselves. Then we got 4, 5, and 6. Sorry, not 1. We got 1 and 2 are in a pack by themselves. And then off in the distance, you can sometimes see 3, 4, and 5. You might get a glimpse of them coming up over this hill. There you can see 1 and 2 going around the corner. There's 3, 4, and 5. And off in the distance, I see some smoke. So I know there's something going on up there. I see a car. He's starting to take off, so I'm going to be cautious, make sure he doesn't pull out in front of us. And there we are. Nice Castrol GTX. Scheme on him. We're up to 5th place. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, all right, 5th place. I want to not spin out. I don't want to screw this up. I'm going pretty good. It's been a really good race so far. We've got about 4 more laps to go. Lap 10. This again is a 12-minute race. And the fact that we're running these laps in the 48s, then we're going to get about 14 laps out of those 12 minutes. GTX car is definitely quicker than us through that final corner. He's got a good run on us. We're let him on by. Like I said, we're not going to try to block, especially when we know this guy's quicker than us. He was several seconds ahead, after all, working in that 3-car pack. And then my laps behind this guy are actually my best laps of the week. So I was able to keep up with him fairly well and actually turn a few personal best lap after lap after lap. Sometimes I end up doing better when I'm right behind somebody because I really have something to explicitly focus on. Whereas when you're running by yourself, quite honestly, you get a little distracted, and that is the worst thing that can happen during a race, would be getting distracted. Now, overall, I have enjoyed this Formula V series. I don't think I'm going to do any more Formula V racing, just because I want to move on to something else. This is a rather interesting rookie car, to say the least. Definitely does not do well if you try to overdrive it. If you try to be overly aggressive braking and downshifting, well, you will not be rewarded in any way. So to some degree, as a rookie car, it kind of trains you or helps you learn how to be smoother with your inputs, smoother with your brake, smoother with your shifting, and definitely smoother on the corners through the turns, because this car can get really squirrely, really quick. So to that end, I think it's a really good rookie car because it doesn't reward you for overdriving the car. It doesn't reward you for being a little jerky or not so smooth with your downshifts and everything. This car really does try to teach you to rev match your downshifts so you don't block up the rears or anything like that. And we're coming into the last lap of the race, white flag lap. Now this particular car in front of us, after the race, I looked at the stats, and he was actually the one that did the fastest lap of the race. His fastest lap was earlier in the race, but at any rate, there was really no chance we were ever going to catch this guy back up, because he was clearly capable of running about a half a second lap faster than our best lap was his fastest lap of the race. Now, we may have been, if we were able to be a little bit closer up, been able to get him on this last turn, because he was coming up on a lap car right there. I don't know at all what that lap car was doing. At any rate, as we go through our cool down lap, I want to thank you all for coming out and watching this particular race. And if you've caught the other 11 races during our Formula V series, you've seen us advance up the splits, and probably for the second third of the season, we have routinely been in the top split every race. Racing has been much better. It's obviously been a lot harder to get a top position as a result of that, but the racing has been much better. A lot of improvement in my iRating based on the earlier races in the season, and well, my safety rating has rebounded quite a bit also, thanks to the better racing. So until next time, happy racing.